proposed budget as amended, appropriating all budgeted revenues and expenditures, authorizing the investment of county. Okay, you guys don't see me. I got the microphone. Authorizing the transfer.
I have the microphone set up. Hopefully you can hear me. So I'm at the very back of the room. I'm going to speak. I'm speaker number 87. So of course this is going to be boring. This is a budget meeting for Miami-Dade County. And of course I have to be very quiet. I'm at the very, very back of the room. And we're going to go ahead and confront them. I have to keep this speech down. It's a 3-minute, 30-second speech. I have to keep it down to 2 minutes. 2 minutes is what my allotted time is. So I'm going to go ahead and start hacking away at my speech.
To conform such enactments to the fiscal year 2022-23 budget, superseding conflicting provisions of prior legislative enactments, and providing severability, exclusion from, and inclusion in the code, and an effective date. Item D is an ordinance approving, adopting, and ratifying the millage for unincorporated municipal service area operating purposes for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2022, and ending September 30, 2023, levying all taxes so provided, providing severability, exclusion from the code, and an effective date, and the budget director has a statement.
The proposed unincorporated municipal service area operating millage is 1.9090 mils, which is 9.33% above the state defined rollback rate of 1.7461. The proposed millage rate generates revenue to support.
Can I ask you for a favor? By chance, do you have a pen I can borrow? I need to hack this away for 2 minutes worth.
Unincorporated municipal service area fund budget for Miami-Dade County, Florida for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2022, and ending September 30, 2023. Providing a short title, incorporating the fiscal year 2022-23 proposed budget as amended, appropriating all budgeted revenues and expenditures, authorizing the investment of county funds in the time warrants of Miami-Dade County, authorizing the transfer of funds as cash advances pending receipt of taxes or other revenues, authorizing deposit of interest earned to the general fund, ratifying, confirming, and approving implementing orders and other actions of the board which set fees, rates, and charges, authorizing fees, rates, and charges consistent with appropriations, and providing for their amendment, and authorizing subsequent amendments or resolution, recognizing and continuing the unincorporated municipal service area, authorizing the mayor or mayor's designee to negotiate and execute certain funding agreements, waiving for fiscal year 2022-23 provisions of the code and resolutions requiring execution of county affidavits for nonprofits receiving certain county funding, amending, waiving, or rescinding, if necessary, various sections of the code, applicable implementing orders, and other legislative enactments to conform such enactments to the fiscal year 2022-23 budget, superseding conflicting provisions of prior legislative enactments, providing severability, exclusion from the code, and an effective date. Item F is an ordinance approving, adopting, and ratifying the millage for the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue Service District operating purposes for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2022, and ending September 30, 2023, levying all taxes so provided, recognizing and continuing the Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue Service District, providing severability, exclusion from the code, and an effective date, and the budget director has a statement.
The proposed Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Service District operating millage is 2.3965 mils, which is 10.44% above the state defined rollback of 2.1699 mils. The proposed millage rate generates revenue to support the services included in the proposed budget.
Item G is an ordinance approving, adopting, and ratifying the millage for the Miami-Dade Library System operating purposes for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2022, and ending September 30, 2023. Levying all taxes so provided, recognizing and continuing the Miami-Dade Library System, providing severability, exclusion from the code, and an effective date. And the budget director has a statement.
The proposed library system operating millage is 0.2812 mils, which is 10.31% above the state defined rollback rate of 0.2549 mils. The proposed millage rate generates revenue to support the services included in the proposed budget.
Item H is an ordinance approving, adopting, and ratifying proprietary budgets, special assessment district budgets, and other budgets of Miami-Dade County, Florida for fiscal year commencing October 1, 2022, and ending September 30, 2023. providing a short title incorporating fiscal year
All right.
2022-23
No, because I have a story. Just wanted to pitch about it. Do you have an
appropriating
email
all
to send
budget
it to?
revenues and expenditures, authorizing investment of county funds and time warrants in Miami-Dade County, authorizing transfer of funds as cash
You need
advances
Team
pending
Fiddle?
receipt of taxes
100.
or other revenues, ratifying, confirming, and approving implementing orders and other
gmail.com.
actions of board which set fees, rates, and charges, authorizing fees, rates, and charges consistent with
And if you want,
appropriations
click
and
there,
providing
so
for
you
their
have it as well.
approving
Miami Flying
revised
Trap
fees,
Teams,
charges, and
YouTube,
implementing
and you
orders
can
for
look on there
various departments
just
and
to see if you're even
agencies,
interested.
and authorizing subsequent amendments
Yeah.
or
Why
don't you
resolution.
respond with the link?
Approving fiscal year 2022-23 pay plan, authorizing allocations and reallocations of bond proceeds and interest earnings, authorizing mayor or
Thank you.
mayor's designee to provide bond issue reserves, establishing such funds as may be approved during the fiscal year and providing for their expenditure, authorizing payment of local business tax surcharge to Beacon Council, appropriating grant, donation, and contribution funds, authorizing the mayor or mayor's designee to negotiate and execute certain funding agreements, continuing municipal service funds, authorizing disbursement from the Environmentally Endangered Lands or EO Acquisition Trust Fund to supplement the EO Land Management Trust Fund to maintain the principal balance required under section 24-50.52B1 of the code, waiving for fiscal year 2022-23, section 29-7G of the code related to allocation of documentary surtax funds, and resolution number R92408 relating to transit fares, fees, and charges. Waiving provisions of the code and resolutions requiring execution of county affidavits for nonprofits receiving certain county funding, authorizing the termination of financial interest rate swap agreements and allowing reinvestment of termination proceeds in accordance with county investment policy, amending section 32-92 of the code relating to voluntary notification fees for certain water and sewer delinquent accounts, amending, waiving, or rescinding if necessary, various sections of the code applicable implementing orders and other legislative enactments to conform such enactments to fiscal year 2022-23 budget, superseding conflicting provisions of prior legislative enactments, providing severability, exclusion from, and inclusion in the code, and an effective date. And Mr. Chair, I understand the Budget Director has some additional amendments to the memo titled Information for the Second Budget Hearing, which is on your agenda. If you could read them now.
Following the scrivener's errors in the information for the second budget hearing dated September 16, 2022. On page 4, the $150,000 to the Cuban American Bar Association Inc. should be amended to read $150,000 to the Cuban American Bar Association Pro Bono Project Inc. for the same purpose. Following amendments to
Let me know who's in here. I have to speak very low because, of course, this is all live.
infrastructure project program, the $3 million to the city of
If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to read it. I just have to speak this low into the microphone. Hopefully you can hear me.
to construct a community theater. On page 3, section C, infrastructure project program, paragraph, middle of the page, last sentence should be replaced to read.
Here's the speech I will give. I only get 2 minutes. Wish me luck.
Infrastructure project program category. There remains a funding gap for money to meet future capital needs that will be met in one of the following ways. From unallocated $50.875 million, which is currently set aside to provide match funds for federal and state grant awards, or number 2, repurpose the building better communities general obligation bond program fund based on availability with approval from the general obligation bond program committee advisory committee and gifts. On page 4, continuation of county service. The Haitian Neighborhood Center.
I'm sorry?
You media?
Independent?
For the division of temporary protective services.
Thank you.
On page 4, continuing county services, Family Action Network Movement Inc. for the provision of temporary protective services should be amended to the Family Action Network Movement Inc. for the provision of immigration services. On page 4, continuation of county services. The Hispanic Unity of South Florida Inc. for the provision of temporary protective services should be removed. On page 4, continuation of county services. $250,000 to the Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Miami Inc. for the provision of temporary protective services should be amended to read $1 million to the Catholic Legal Services of Archdiocese of Miami Inc. for the provision of immigration services. On page 4, continuation of county services. $250,000 to the Center for Haitian Studies Inc. to the provide primary and specialty medical care to uninsured patients. Should be amended to be $500,000 to the Center for Asian Studies Inc. to provide primary and specialty medical care to the uninsured patients. On page 5, continuation of county services, $2.022 million. Future budget shortfall should be 1.7.
Of course, if you're seeing this, after the live, skip through most of it, and I do apologize. But this is what it is. This is the best way that I can do it. So I was asked if I was media. I let him know I was independent for this story, and yeah, he said it was good enough, so that's great. And yeah, we'll see where we go from there. But again, skip ahead because this is going to be long.
Microphone. We can't hear you.
Thank you, Emma.
Pick it up.
But before we open up and have a statement to the public, Commissioner Sosa, I know you wanted to say something about a very deep place.
A very special place, thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mayor, thank you for all our firefighters that already left, working together with FEMA to help those in the island of Puerto Rico that need so much, they're suffering so much that if the attorney guides me, what I want to say, to open the opportunity for any employee who wants to donate their days to help, we will really appreciate that. Do you want to say something or that is enough?
Yes, that's enough for now, Commissioner Sosa, and we'll prepare the more formal language to be approved when we go ahead later on in the meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. A pleasure working with you. Now they need us. They really need us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Also, Madam Mayor, I'm Puerto Rico, a dear friend of ours, it's a great organization that we use, many people, which is GEM organizations, asked if we can provide for fire stations, that we could, they didn't pick up maybe twice a day or once a day at a meeting, so we could get that done. So later on today, we can get together with Chief Ramirez and Sergeant Public Safety.
Yes, thank you, and we have already communicated with Jen, our willingness to work with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, with that.
Mr. Chair?
Welcome back to all my colleagues, our attorneys, Madam Mayor, Director Hoffetter, and the residents who are here with us tonight at our second budget hearing. For the last of the Mohicans, this will be the last budget meeting that will be sitting in this commission. So let's make an easy one, pleasant, something that we could have a good time and listen to the people that are here to ask or say thank you or whatever, but let's try to make it a pleasant one and a memorable one. So tonight, as we discuss the mayor's proposed changes and vote on the final budget. Before we get started with the public hearing, I want to take a moment to thank the mayor, the director of finance, our auditor, OPBA, and the work that was put together to make this budget. Also, all my colleagues for the work they do in making their districts and county-wide situations better. Now, before we begin, the officers shall provide dinner for all, the colleagues, their staff, and also their staff, and so on. I would like the members of the public to know that just because some of us are not here at the time of the speech, doesn't mean that we're not listening to you. We sometimes go to an office to deal with an issue, sometimes we're just in the back, but there is televisions, and it's being broadcast everywhere. So, also, I want to state clearly that I want you to please address us as a whole. And second, I want you to please stick to the topic of the budget. Purely the budget. That's what you're here for. So let's hear what you gotta say. I know that we're trying to get this done, we're trying to hear 1 minute, but it's 2 minutes, but a lot of you are just to come and say, you're, like last time, a lot of thank yous. So if we could do it in 1 minute, we'll appreciate it. But if not, you have 2 minutes to speak. So I won't take away from the last meeting, this meeting, but please, if you can, help us out. So with that, begin on the issue.
And actually, it's just a point of personal privilege. I just learned that Jorge Rodriguez passed away, and I wanted to mention it. As many of you know, he's the owner of La Poderosa and Dorothy Jameson. My mother worked for him for many years, and I worked for him for a decade. He was a lovely person. And I was just going to ask for a moment of silence. He really did a lot for our community, and our prayers for his family. The Spanish language radio really loses a tremendous advocate today.
Incredible man.
Yes.
Incredible man. Take a moment of silence, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Chairman, if you may.
Senator Garcia.
Thank you. Before we get to the public audience, I was reached, our office was reached by the family of Tomás Garcia Fontaine in an effort to try to do a road designation in Commissioner Higgins' district. We want to make sure to spread out, so we can do a co-sponsor, co-bribe.
Absolutely.
Great. Good news as co-sponsor. Also, known him for many years. All right. With that, I'm going to call your names. You're going to come up, and again, if you can speak a little bit, we appreciate it. You speak 2 minutes, we stop at that point. But I want to be real clear. Once again, address us as a whole. Second, stay to the topic of the budget. State your name clearly, please, and also your address. And then the clock will start as you start to speak. So with that, I'm going to start calling out the names. Once again, I'm going to ask Sergeant at Arms, please clear the back and the sides, unless you're an employee or directly involved with one of the media channels. I would like to sit down. Let's sit down. Thank you. All right. Olivia Collins, Katrina Irwin, Ian Quatrin, Rachel Silverstein, Laverne Spencer, Leslie Mendoza, Laura Reynolds, Samantha Barquin, Jamie Spector, Sharon Fraser Stephens, Sarah Boyce, Cephas Williams, Jenny Silver, Sandy Alla, Shirley Fields, Renee Peston, Chris Lomax, Miriam Singer. All right. Olivia, step up.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Olivia Collins, and I live at 19985 Northeast 6th Court in Miami, Florida, 33179. Thanks for allowing us all to provide comment today on the budget. I'm the Senior Director of Programs for the Clio Institute. We're a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to climate change education and advocacy. Therefore, I'm really excited to see that the budget really reflects the protection of our environment, that it focuses on mitigation and reducing our carbon footprint, and that it's focused on climate solutions. This budget will make Miami-Dade more resilient in the face of the climate crisis. And from a director's point of view, I'm especially pleased to see the $2.5 million for resiliency education. Thank you, Madam Mayor, for keeping climate as a priority on your agenda. When I first came to Clio in 2017, You've been the recipient of the Environmental Education Grant. Back then, the total budget for this was only $750,000, which amounted to 0.009% of the county budget. And although those funds don't seem like a lot, it's enabled CLEO to train thousands of students and teachers with MDCPS. It's allowed us to train hundreds of citizens to become climate speakers and advocates, some of which are present tonight. And it's allowed us to provide hurricane preparedness trainings and hurricane kits across the county to some of our more underrepresented and vulnerable citizens. However, these funds have been on hold since 2019. So again, I would like to thank the mayor for proposing new funding for resiliency education and ask that these funds get distributed as soon as possible, and that you consider increasing this amount for environmental education in future budgets as the urgency of the science demands. Thank you again for your effort for protecting our community and for your long-term vision.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am?
Good afternoon. My name is Katrina Irwin, and I live at 1470 Barracoa. First off, I wanted to thank the mayor for putting climate resilience on the agenda. From the protection of our Biscayne Bay and septic conversion to $2.5 million for the educations of our community to be climate ready, the mayor is showing just how much she cares about the future of Miami. For every dollar invested in building resilient communities and infrastructure, $6 are saved in future costs. If we had prioritized climate several years ago in past budgets, we would not be spending nearly as much money as we have to now and will in the future. These past couple months, Miami-Dade residents have faced devastating flood impacts and have not been able to leave their house due to heat records constantly being broken. Even as I speak, the citizens of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic are facing the impacts of yet another devastating hurricane fueled by the climate emergency. Miami's infrastructure is not prepared to face hurricane-force weather conditions. Earlier this summer, cars sank due to a tropical storm. Just imagine what will happen when we are faced with a direct hit from a hurricane. We must invest. I support the climate resilience efforts proposed in the budget, and I hope you all vote yes on the mayor's proposal. With that being said, the Dade County budget increases in funding every year, and climate resilience efforts continue to be a small amount compared to the rest of the funding Dade County has. I hope this marks the beginning of us focusing more and more on preparing our communities to be climate ready in the face of the climate emergency and increase more climate funding in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you, commissioners, for the opportunity for public comment. My name is Ian Gordon, and I live at 7525 Southwest 134th Street, Pinecrest, Florida, 33156. I want to say that I support the mayor's proposed budget for Miami-Dade County, which includes $2.5 million for infrastructure and for education on climate readiness. As a years-long member of Miami-Dade County Public Schools, I genuinely believe that the long-term resiliency and health of our community depends on the youth and schools that we support. Public education is an investment. The children and students of this generation are not simply interested in the issues that will affect their lives. They have a stake in the improvements our community can deliver, and they are among the mightiest force to be allies in meeting the challenges of the present and the future, if they are given the opportunity to learn about these environmental issues. As these are issues that are affecting us today, as evidenced by the damage endured in Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic as a result of Hurricane Fiona, and the extreme heat we've experienced this year, students need to know about the science, seriousness, solutions on the climate crisis that is unfolding. In my classrooms and with my students, I've made repeated efforts to include this topic in my instruction. That is an individual choice not every teacher feels supported in making. This budget supports this learning for students to not merely be aware of these issues and its causes, but for how they can prepare for the future and meet the challenges affecting our communities today. Please support the mayor's budget for approval. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chairman. Laura Reynolds, 6820 Southwest 64th Court, South Miami, and I'm a board member of Friends of Biscayne Bay and the leader of the Hold the Line Coalition. And this is a historic budget, so I want to thank the mayor for bringing it forward. And a lot of people asked, how does this stack up compared to other budgets that we've seen? And I can tell you that the average environmental investment has been between 2.5 and 3%. This is 6%. But if you look at the total budget number of 10 billion, that's nowhere near where we need to go. So I challenge all of you to accept this budget and challenge yourselves to do better in next year's budget on the environment. And when we analyzed this budget, we looked at every sector to try to find how does that help the environment, water and sewer, every aspect, and it took a long time to do. But this is the highest amount that we've ever dedicated to the environment, so I want to ask you to please support the budget. We need to think of ways to take the pressure off the urban development boundary and protect wetlands and farmland at the same time. Green space, the way that we use our land is super important, and we have to come up with ways to make farming profitable. We have to come up with ways to say no net loss to wetlands so that we can protect our resiliency. So I ask all of you to support this budget. Thank you.
Thank you. What number are you in?
4.
4. All right. Sorry, try to put them in some kind of.
So that was this is number 4 coming up.
We had a missing,
And I'm number 87. I'll be here for a while.
Number 5, rules, number 5. Please get the next podium. Thank you. And number 6, put her right after that. Let's light them up. All right, we're doing good now. All right, ma'am, number 4. Go ahead.
Good evening, Commissioners and Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today in support of Mayor Levine Cava's budget. And Rachel Silverstein, and I'm the Executive Director and Waterkeeper of local nonprofit Miami Waterkeeper. We're at 220 Miracle Mile. Biscayne Bay is the jewel of this community, but it has clearly crossed a tipping point, and urgent action is needed to protect our way of life here in Miami-Dade County. Biscayne Bay supports our real estate industry, our tourism, our agriculture. It supports jobs, its recreation, its growth. And next month is in fact the 50th anniversary of the Clean Water Act. It's the seminal environmental law that protects all of our rights to water that is safe for swimming, drinking, and fishing. And interestingly, that law set a goal of eliminating all illegal pollution by 1983. It also set a goal of having all waterways be safe for swimming and fishing by 1985. We have a ways to go, but this law has also protected our waterways and has improved the way of life for people and animals and wildlife and the environment across the country. But in that spirit, I ask you to support the very important environmental funding that is included in the mayor's budget, specifically the One Water strategy that I think is really the way forward for this community to unite and really reflect the water cycle and how we use water and how it is all interrelated. We want to fund climate adaptation so that we're ready for coming sea level rise that threatens the very existence of our community. We need to make improvements to our stormwater system, invest in things like stormwater asset management systems and other kinds of inspection, illicit discharge, cleaning. We need to make improvements to our beach and canal maintenance so that they're more environmentally friendly and they benefit the community instead of act as a detriment. And we need to fully fund the mayor's request for the environmentally endangered lands program, a field program that is crucial to providing resiliency and protecting our open spaces, protecting our environment, and has been a key successful initiative of this county.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. I'm Laverne Spicer, Curtis House, Executive Director, 6025 Northwest 6th Court. Curtis House has been in business for over 20 years. We provide a wraparound service. We're more than a food bank. We help people make it through each and every day of their life. People are struggling. They can't pay the rent, can't afford gas, can't afford to feed their families. We work very closely with our senior community. Many of them receive less than $200 a month, less than $5 in food stamps. So that's why it's so important, and we're so grateful for the funding. We also have a large population of homeless people that are right in front of our warehouse. And we provide hot meals for these people also. Today we had a lady that showed up with 6 kids that was homeless staying in the park. And I thank you, Mayor, who called your office and was able to get that lady to help. But those are the situations that we see each and every day at our door. We also had another lady, came in crying, homeless, got put out of somebody's house, had no pampers for her kids, no clothing, no nothing. So these are people that we see daily because we serve these people Tuesday through Friday, okay? And we're grateful for the help, but we need all the help that we can continue to get to help them sustain and make it through each day. We also give out personal care items, whether it's hand sanitizer, and we're just there to encourage our community. And once again, we thank you all for the funding. We thank you, Mayor, because we know when we call your office, we always get that help that we need. And also, Commissioner Hardeman, we need your help also at Curtis House. Thank you.
No. All right, listen up. If you like what somebody says, this is what we do here, all right? If you do not like what somebody says, you do this. Do not use any other fingers or hands, okay? So remember, this or this, all right? All right, thank you. Oh.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Chairman Diaz, and Commissioners. Leslie Mendoza, 2400 South Dixie Highway, on behalf of the Cuban American Bar Association Pro Bono Legal Services. I am here this evening to truly thank each and every one of you for your continuous support and express our strong support for the proposed budget at the proposed millage rates because it allows nonprofit organizations like ours to provide essential services to those members of our community most in need. And I assure you that the help they receive truly makes a difference. Thanks to your support as the Executive Director of Java Pro Bono, I have seen amazing results. This past summer alone, we saw one of our former clients who we began representing at the age of 13 years old because he was homeless and did not have a caretaker leave to MIT with a full ride. And that was thanks to support from you all that made our work possible. So I'm very grateful that I get to witness these amazing things that take place every day in our office, and I'm here to thank you. The last time I was here, I also expressed the need for funding to help members of our community with disabilities, and I am beyond grateful that it was included in the new proposed budget, and I thank members of the commission that championed this cause. We are excited to begin this program and see what results it leads to, because we are positive that it will lead to wonderful results and again serve to strengthen our wonderful community, Miami-Dade County. Thank you all.
Thank you. Matt.
Hi, good evening. My name is Samantha Joaquin, and I live at 12010 Southwest 105th Terrace, Miami, Florida, 33186. And I support the proposed budget as it is a reflection of our values and our priorities. It lays out the level of services that the county can provide to our community. This budget will invest in initiatives to help clean up Biscayne Bay and prepare Miami-Dade County for a resilient future. There are now regular fish kills in the summer months, algae blooms, and widespread seagrass die-offs in some areas of the bay. These are costly to our economy. We need resources to solve environmental problems today before they get much more expensive and worse in the near future. This is why we need funding for subject to sewer transition, implementation of the county's sea level rise strategy, protection of Biscayne Bay and our drinking water aquifer, and this is why I support the portions of the mayor's proposed budget that prioritize and value our environmental resources. And I ask that the commission also devote enough resources to environmental issues in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Good evening, my name is Amigo Factor, and your flat is 1690 Southwest 107th Avenue. I want to thank you all very much for taking the time to listen to priorities of the community and for consideration to make decisions that affect us all. I'm here to urge you to pass the proposed budget put forth by Mayor Dean Cava. The importance of Biscayne Bay is no secret. We all know have grown in for decades. The environmentally engaging treatment program formed in the early 1990s protected natural areas that are essential to ensuring Miami-Dade communities against the impact of climate change. The county's own website states that the yield program requires certain landscapes and quote, preserve the natural mangrove coast, provide hazard mitigation, and protect the county's water resources. These lands are part of a national state effort to restore America's bedrock, end quote. Another part of the county's website states that the yield program requires lands that are, again, and I quote, arguably the most important wetland system in the southern part of Miami-Dade to eradicate, control, invasive vegetation through intense management and restoration projects, end quote. I could go on with other examples of the county recognizing the importance of this program, but I'm limited to 2 minutes, so I'll go on. The yield program, along with other programs prioritized in the proposed budget, are essential to our community for 2 reasons: our present and our future. If we do not invest in these programs now, our future will be much more expensive. We will face increased costs from cleaning up contaminated water from our streets after aging infrastructure fails, potential public health crises from that contaminated water flowing through our streets, damage to our homes and businesses from increased flooding, and more. So again, I implore you, please approve the proposed budget to protect this state.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your testimony. Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Diaz, Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Mayor. My name is Sharon Curtis Stevens. I live at 6324 Northeast First Place, Miami, Florida, 33138. Mr. Chair, I stand in support of the mayor's budget. Being that said, I would like for all the commissioners, to support the $143 million for our fair share. As I stand here as a Black American-born citizen, family of veterans, World War III, Iraqi veteran, and now my grandson, who's now in the Naval Academy. My son, who served in Iraq and Afghanistan after the 9/11, and now my grandson, who is fighting for this country. So in closing, what about our reparations? The Black American, born, bred, brought it from Georgia, slavery mentality, and to stand here to see our tax dollars leaving out of our community, out of our state, out of our county. I don't mind helping others, but the Bible says charity starts at home. Please support the $143 million, our fair share, and support the Model City Advisory Board. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're recognized.
But I live in an area, as a girl, we have no leadership. And because we have no leadership, I have to come to the area. In the area in which I live, it's infested with rats. I want to thank you for those that pointed out in the trash. But they're rats. It wouldn't be rats in Coconut Grove, it would be rats on there for my, it would be rats on my beach. It's rats. And the children are having to walk through a past the rats. And if they have passed the rats, can they be free? I would like to know, as a homeowner, what coverage can we get as homeowners to be relieved of this? There's some form of intimidation. There's intimidation for speaking. Nobody saw us speak, but we see the rats.
Ma'am, before you begin, ma'am, could I have your address for the record? Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
I'm in support of the mayor, hoping to support y'all and support it, support it, I can get the phone. My question is, we say we love kids. There's so much violence going on. We got a track team at Great Cherry. Young kids running on concrete and fires. And when I look at Dade County TV, I see all these beautiful farms down the south. It's there's not enough for our kids over here. I'm looking at all the buildings go up and down south, beautiful, but when it comes to inner city, we don't have it. Some people, in this budget, this probably need to be dressed for our kids to look beautiful for the parents to come and sit down and see. I mean, it's just shame, the way the violence going on, they're trying to keep the young kids off, but we keep saying there ain't no money for, these parks. What's so better than the South and the North? We need to do better. Commissioner Martin, and y'all who are sitting here, and allow this to happen.
Sir, please address the board as a whole.
The vote, to the vote.
To the board, please. Thank you.
I'm just hoping each and one of y'all, the mayor, to look into this. And the street that we were at on, we got money from federal government. Why our streets are not looking like it is? Why are they looking like it is? There's something got to be did. There's something got to be did. The infrastructure money help. Billions and billions of dollars. Where it's going at? We building more houses than putting street lights and stopping now. It's sad. Children are up in the rise right now. But nobody wants to listen.
Ma'am.
Hi, good evening, commissioners. My name is Jenny Silver, and I live at 1500 West 21st Street in Miami Beach. I appreciate that the mayor's budget sets aside money for protecting the...
Sorry, stop you. Just want to go to that side. State your name again?
Jenny Silver.
Silver. And your address?
1500 West 21st Street.
I have 22.
Oh.
Miracle.
Okay, right. 220 Miracle Mile.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Excuse me, ma'am? Please take a seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody else, please take a seat that is not in line. Thank you so much. I need to address because what happens is people start moving around and it disturbs you. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you. Please start.
Good evening, commissioners. Thank you so much. I appreciate that the mayor's budget sets aside money for protecting the bay and our watershed. The budget also funds important resilience initiatives. Today I'm commenting on one item in the mayor's budget that's critical to our watershed. That's the environmentally endangered lands program known as EO. This program's focus is the protection and conservation of endangered lands. The EO program identifies and secures these lands for preservation. It is so important to continue to fund and expand this program. Natural areas without impervious surface coverage can stop and hold stormwater and allow rain to percolate into the aquifer. They maintain biodiversity. Therefore, I support the mayor's budget funding for the environmentally endangered lands program. This critical program ensures the natural habitats like the biodiverse pine rocklands and hardwood hammocks receive the management and care they need to thrive. I support expanding the program in years to come to preserve our dwindling natural habitats. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you recognize. Award.
Good afternoon, my name is Nancy Alla, the Senior Director of Case Management Programs at Jewish Community Services of South Florida. I want to thank everyone for the opportunity to present here, and I do support the mayor's budget, and I want to just present the reasoning for it. I do oversee the older adult case management programs at Jewish Community Services, and we provide supportive services through this funding to the seniors of our community. The frail and most vulnerable members of our community are in need of supportive case management services and to provide safety and security in their homes and in their environment. So I support the mayor's budget, and thank you for the opportunity.
You good? Thank you so much. Guys, when you come up, if you want to support the mayor's budget, just say that and say your organization. keep adding more and more people, but again, it's on you. Ma'am, well,
Good evening. Renee Pesci Smith, 1637 Southwest Main Street, Miami, 33135. I'm the Deputy Director at the Arts and Business Council of Miami, and I'd like to thank the Mayor and the Commissioners for their vital support for the arts and that have helped keep the arts in business. We work with more than 500 arts organizations in Miami-Dade, and the arts ecosystem is still recovering from the devastating impacts of COVID. Please approve the increased funding for the Department of Cultural Affairs to help the arts revive and thrive.
thank you, ma'am. Sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, esteemed Madam Mayor. Miriam Singer, President and CEO of Jewish Community Services of South Florida. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today to thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the many frail and vulnerable clients that we serve throughout the entire community. Thank you for making it possible for our safety net of caring and compassionate services to address the needs of those that are in most critical conditions in terms of economic impacts, health impacts, and the impacts of the housing affordability crisis. We appreciate your leadership and we support the mayor's budget, and we hope you will too. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Singer. Ma'am, the record is.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Morgan Weinblatt, Director of Resource Development and Engagement with Jewish Community Services Florida as well, residing at 12,000 Biscayne Boulevard, Miami, Florida, 33181. I'm also here this evening to express JCS's strong support of the mayor's proposed budget, most notably the affordable housing initiatives to respond to the needs of residents suffering from the housing affordability crisis in our community. Thank you very much for including this and for supporting the most vulnerable.
Thank you, ma'am. I have Cheryl Fields. Cheryl Fields, I'm sorry. Ms. Fields. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call out list of names when I call your name. Please line up behind either podium or you can come to speak your name, your address, and record. A maximum of 2 minutes. Feel free to take less than 2 minutes. Vicky Lopez, Marva Light, Marilyn Holyfield, Kenneth Kilpatrick, LaRon Gillen, Anita Howard, Myra Meyer, Shirley Richardson, Tricia Williams, and Maurice Woods. So maybe something else is going on, like y'all didn't understand. Okay. So y'all are all one person? Well, okay. Please, name and address.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman, members of the Commission, and Mayor Licata. My name is Vicky Lopez, and I reside at 2101 Purple Avenue, Suite 809, Miami, Florida 33129. I'm joined today with the founder of Agape Network, Dr. Jose Hernandez, the CEO, Claudio Perez, the COO, Sandy Hernandez, and most importantly, 4 women who are current residents of the Agape Residential Program and a graduate, Jeannie Cohen, Courtney Reed, Rachel Teague, Sabrina Vargas, and Maureen Lewis. We know that all of you have been longtime supporters of Agape's mission to serve women and their families who suffer from behavioral and primary care health problems. We are especially grateful to you for your leadership and efforts to secure funding for the completion of the Agape Village Health Center,
that will increase the capacity of our clients from 1,500 to 2,500 receiving outpatient monthly services, and residential inpatient capacity will increase from 62 beds to 141 beds. We know that none of this would have been possible without your support and that of the Commission. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank Jennifer Moon for her invaluable guidance and assistance throughout the budget process, and of course to Agape's Commissioner, Keone McGee. We would also like to give a special thanks to the Mayor, Mayor Levine Cava, for her ongoing support of this important project, given her very strong commitment to social services. Her belief that transformation and restoration is possible, that these services should be afforded to women, children, and families that Agape serves, has been paramount throughout this process. Today, we honor all of you for your support of the capital funding for Agape Network. We look forward to inviting you all in the spring to our ribbon cutting so that you can see firsthand the fruits of your labor. No doubt in the years to come, thousands of individuals will benefit from your visionary support of this incredibly important legacy project. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Marilyn Hollyfield. My address is 701 Purple Avenue, Miami, Florida. I'm here to thank you for your support of the arts, and in particular, the Miami Museum of Contemporary Art of the African Diaspora, also known as Miami MOCAD. Miami MOCAD is a tech-forward museum in planning that documents, educates, and stores knowledge for generations to come. Through virtual and in-person programming, highly informative, well-researched art newsletters, collaborations with the University of Miami School of Communications, University of Miami Lowell Art Museum, the Coral Gables Museum, Little Haiti Cultural Center, and Hampton Art Lovers. We also have commissioned local-based artists for high-tech murals activated with QR codes. County funding supports Miami MOCAD's interactive mural and oral history project that merges art and QR code technology to capture part and contributions of Miami's first Black judge, the late Lawson E. Thomas, and Miami's Black longshoreman, Local 1416. Through a partnership with Google, the oral histories will be digitized and placed on Google's Art and Culture page, a platform serving the world. Your funding supports the first phase of a transformative master plan that will define all steps towards establishing a hybrid tech museum. Miami MOCAD's internship program is successful. Already, one of our interns has been selected for a highly prestigious Romeo Bearden Fellowship. Thank you very much for all of your support.
Thank you, and thank you for your support of the arts, and you continue to have to actually push arts forward in exactly what you're doing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice Chair.
Good evening. My name is Shirley Richardson. I'm at 650 Southwest Terrace, apartment 405, Pembroke Pines, Florida. I represent the oldest African American company here in the state of Florida, the Company. So I'm back today to reiterate our support for the mayor's budget. We hope that you will really please consider the art community here in Miami. Look at us as a valuable organization also that can impact the economic economy in our communities. We are in a very diverse community now. It is so important that we become sustainable in this community, because one of the things that we learn from each other, we support each other, we understand each other through the arts, that will make it a better community. So I'm asking you once again, please again, support this proposed budget. It is very important to the arts community. I also like to acknowledge and also thank the mayor for this great budget you proposed. Thank you so much. And I also like to acknowledge the Cultural Affairs Office staff for all the support they give to the arts community here in Miami-Dade County. They guide us, they support us, they motivate us, and we are very grateful for them and support them too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, we have several speakers who'd like to.
Ooh, somebody's in here. This is 55 minutes, 56 minutes going on. It's going to be a long night because I'm number 87. I think they're moving fast though. I think they're up to number, let's see, I think they're up to like number 25, something like that. Oh, you left. I think it's because of the delay.
Funding for Brownville's historic assets, Hampton House, Georgette's Tea Room, Lincoln Memorial Park Cemetery, and Colored Children's Playground. Funding to assist muralists to refresh buffer walls along Northwest 54th Street. We also observed allocations for the Kennedy Center Auditorium and the Cultural Arts Center improvements in the budget. I wanted to express support for those projects on behalf of the community, as both of those projects are consistent with the Model City Brownfield Street. We're finally in support of the budget overall, and in particular the homes program, as we're looking forward to assist low-income families with rent and mortgage programs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Maria Meyer, 1781 Peachy Drive, Miami, Florida, 33133. Thank you, Commissioners and Madam Mayor, for your public service and your leadership. As the Executive Director of Your Women's Fund Miami-Dade, I'm very proud to represent a 23-leader, strong board of directors, community, Ms. Priscilla Giddings, who is also me and board member, but they let you up, Priscilla. Community members, and some 8,000 active followers of Your Women's Fund who are cognizant of the importance of our county budget and of your collective work. We are here to support the proposed investments in domestic violence prevention and support services. Today, I spoke personally with a survivor who charged me with telling the commissioners that they thank you that CVAC services saved her life. I'm gonna let that sink in. We're urging to support maximum investment in early childhood educational opportunities, including early Head Start. The Women's Fund is very active in this area, and it directly affects the economic mobility of women. Please do not forget that. They're hand in hand. We support the proposed millage rate to fuel the critical operations that we all depend on. Your Women's Fund is committed in turn to work collaboratively with you all on human trafficking, opportunities to improve maternal infant mortality rates in Miami-Dade County, and much more. Thank you for your leadership in representing your residents, your districts, and our community. We are indeed stronger together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Luan Wheeler. My address is 1682 Northwest 192nd Terrace, Miami, Florida, 50169. I am the director of the Line Marching Drum Corps. We are an organization that reaches out to the community and teaches, as well as keeping kids off the street, keeping kids away from gun violence. We have partnered up
about a budget issue. And as it relates to the new Marlboro City Board that's being formed here in the city of Liberty City, and as well as in the area of Brownsville.
It's very interesting. It's just very interesting to see. If you look, I mean, people are talking, and I understand these are very long meetings, but if you look, you have the chair over there, you know, he's talking, making jokes. I mean, I get it, you gotta take a break. These are very monotonous and tedious meetings, and I think there are a few commissioners. Wait, let me see, I can see one commissioner that is paying attention. It's just very, very curious. I mean, I understand, like I said, I understand this is our very long proceedings, but someone is talking, and she's being very passionate, and she is getting very little attention. Now, if you got to go use the bathroom as a commissioner or the mayor or city county manager, whatever, you have to go to the bathroom. Totally understandable. But people out here putting their hearts out there, telling the commission and the mayor and the city officials here, the elected officials, what's important to them. And I just don't see enough people giving attention. It's very curious. But there is one person up ahead, if you look. He is. Because it is a black man up there and it is a black woman speaking. That's the only person I really see paying attention. I do see Modesty, and I can't take that away. He is paying attention now. Hardeman is talking to someone else. The mayor sat back down. It seems like she's paying attention. She's acknowledging. Just very curious to see how these commissioners behave when someone is speaking.
And it needs to be done properly, because it's not done properly.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, because I have to whisper into this microphone. I am behind the camera. I'm at the very back of the room. And I'm trying very hard not to be loud. Or even hear audible to anybody near me.
My name is Maurice Woods. I reside at 2553 Jordan Manor. I want to come to you and thank you for allowing me to speak today on the budget that supports both the youth and the older adults in our community. I am the president and CEO of Easter Seal, South Florida. As many of you know, our mission is to address equity and inclusion disparities for families and individuals.
I'm curious if I can see the chat. If you can hear me, maybe give me an indication, thumbs up.
For those with autism and related disabilities, and we also have an adult daycare program. I'll spare the details.
Or just say hi. Maybe type in there hi. I have the microphone, the lapel microphone that I can take down when I speak. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay.
Trisha Williams, one last time, Trisha Williams. Unstoppable. Going once, going twice, okay, I'll start. Renita Holmes. Dave Dunford, Eric Ferrara, David Ferrara, Judith Tarifa, Darren Wood, Craig McQueen, Anu Salah, Roy Hardeman, Ron Book, Raphael Gilman. That is number 29 to number 40. 29.
Ooh, 29 to 40. I'm number 87, folks. I'm number 87. Oh my goodness. I am going to have to go to use the bathroom here in a second, but I'll keep this live going. I think I'm going to take advantage of that now. I'll keep the live going, but bathroom break.
Holmes is up first. I can go back. You're up first.
So I'm number 87 for those who are in the chat. I'm number 87, and it's probably going to be another hour. By all means, feel free to skip through if you're not watching this on the live. I will try to comment as best as I can. I have to speak very slowly. But I'll be right back because I have to take a bathroom break.
And I'm also here in support of the mayor's, because I know we have, when you look on the card, sir, it is exempt for legal reasons. You have to see the clerk's office on that one. I've done my due diligence. Madam Mayor, I call you the sheriff, but honest, I feel good calling the woman the sheriff, hot dog. I want to say thank you very much and to your staff because it was very accommodating. As bold and as I may be and articulate as I may be, I felt that I needed to have someone to lean on in order to participate. So I want to thank each and every one of your sergeants at arms for that. They were outstanding. And with that, last, I'd like to thank the vice chair and the chair, for taking the calls of some of the other commissioners. About 8 o'clock this morning, I started calling up until about 10:30 regarding the issue of the Parks elections. You know, at the last meeting, I did a public request. They may have known it through the clerk's office that this was a sunshine request to determine in the document for the election that you heard Ms. Margaret speak about, that I witnessed, and that we sent you, that we had somebody running around with a ballot box. And we still have not identified which employee is public housing, which employee is community economic development, and so forth. So
we're going to really need to be on the budget item.
the DLC pertaining to the budget. And so many issues of citizen participation and the tenant fund participation, I haven't gotten that information yet under the sunshine as part of the budget. I want to close, you see, can I just have another 30 seconds because I was relating it. The participation is very important that we have more citizen participation and remove the situations we have with disability and stuff like that. Lastly, I just want to say we need to close the gap on environmental spending. We want to save the bait, but the environmental disparity in the African American inner city community is an all-time high. You'll take my word for it as a member of CLEO, you'll take my word for it as a Brownsville civic member, and you'll take my word for it as someone that you know likes to look at words, research words, and have them legally clear when we make decisions about how much money is going into the budget and disparate situation of infestation and environmental issues with the African American community. Thank you again.
Thank you. Dave Dover.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Dave Biller, and I am representing the Biscayne Bay Marine Health Coalition, which is a collaboration of local clean water and environmental advocates. I live at 800 West Avenue in Miami Beach. I'm very much in support of the environmental components of our mayor's proposed budget. For decades, we have been massively underfunding the protection and restoration of the lands and waters which our economy, real estate, and lifestyles rely on. And even though this is still not enough money to address stormwater pollution, Biscayne Bay recovery, and the environmentally endangered lands program, we are grateful for this historic and solid down payment that we hope will be increased next year. Thank you, Mayor Levine-Cava, for your vision, and the Commission for your yes votes. Thank you.
Thank you. Eric.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Romero, and I reside at 7244 Southwest 121 Miami, Florida, 33173. I represent the transit officers of Miami-Dade County, and I'm here very gracefully to ask for your support of the mayor's budget. To the consternation of the mayor about commending, I'm moving this as a republic. Okay, and I'm going to make something very clear here. We risk our lives every day for this county as transit officers. We are the front lines when it comes to all public threat to this transit system. We risk our lives every day. Officers have been murdered in the line of duty. One of which was last year that hasn't been able to return to the line of duty as a result of his psychological and physical trauma. We answer calls here for service that are law enforcement calls. We deal with weapons, we deal with narcotics, we answer domestic calls. And 90% of the time the response from law enforcement, not blaming our fine men and women in law enforcement, because I'm a former lawyer myself, is usually after the fact. We are seeing a mass exodus of our best and most highly
All right, and I'm back. We have one person in the chat. Very good.
and we have contracts
In the live.
that are way more lucrative, way less
And they're gone.
and with better hours from most state families. We need to address this issue. And I'm gonna make a prediction here that it's not good for any person, but I speak as a subject matter expert on this because I come as a retired intelligence officer from the U.S. intelligence community with extensive experience in counterterrorism, and before that I was an ICE agent assigned to the U.S. Mexico border. If this continues, we're gonna have a max excess of officers that can put you in the unsavory political predicament of having to lower hiring standards to dangerously low levels that are gonna lead to a tragedy in this system. I have trained and experienced officers that are gonna overreact to a tactical use of force scenario. And you're not gonna be able to escape the direct liability of political fallout of that. This is not an ideological vote, this is not a political vote. This is a vote for public safety and for what is right, for what is just and what is fair. We are grateful to you for the vote that you gave us for our great safety. We are very grateful for that. But you need to pass this raise and you need to approve the mayor's budget. Thank you.
Thank you. David Monaco.
Yes, hello. Good evening, Commissioners, Mayor. My name is David Perazzo. I'm an armed security officer for the Metro Rail. I've worked here for almost 6 years. Before that, I was a nuclear security officer at Turkey Point Nuclear Power Plant for 9 years. I was also Army National Guardsman for 6 years. I can tell you that working at the Metro Rail is far more stressful than guarding a nuclear facility. As a nuclear security officer, we are authorized and expected to detain or remove people from the system if they are or fail to follow the rules or become dangerous. We're expected to step in if someone is using deadly force and risk our own lives to defend the public. While performing my duties, I personally was almost stabbed, I've broken fingers, I've hurt my knees while someone was getting attacked. But at the end of the day, this is what I sign up for. I'm a servant to the people that I protect. However, there are many guards like myself who feel that we can do the same job with less risk and making more money working a less dangerous job. I have 2 beautiful kids that I live for and I support. That being said, my rent has gone up from $1,600 to $2,000 this year. I've worked as much overtime as I can just to make ends meet. Sometimes working up to 96 hours a week just to make the ends meet.
Hello.
That we are not being paid enough. We know we can get another job that is far less demanding and far less dangerous.
All right, who's in here? Can you hear me okay? I have to whisper because I can't let anybody else hear me.
We want to attract new talent. The rest of us aren't so short-staffed. In order to maintain a stable and skilled security workforce, we need to be paid according to the needs that we face. It is time to increase the wages that the workers like myself and my fellow co-workers that continue to do what we are good at. Guarding what is important, the people and the sites that make Miami-Dade County a great place to live. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Judith, please. Judith, just move a little closer to the microphone. You can keep on the mic so that you can. Thank you.
Hello, the information on particular has been documented by experts who have worked with and or developed this technology. I am requesting money in the county budget to address, remedy, and prevent the concerns stated herein. Everyone has heard of Banana syndrome, however, remote satellite technology causes these symptoms and much more on a daily basis for a large number of individuals or TIs, target individuals, TI. Earlier today, I emailed members of the board and mayor transcribed via link to 2 top references, Dr. Robert Duncan, CIA and DARPA scientist, as well as Dr. James Giordano, a Georgetown professor and Pentagon advisor. They have worked in this field for decades. I have these and many of the links to experts at my site, houseconstitution.info. I have extreme personal concerns. I have documented at my site and with many overseas agencies, including regarding a current court matter here in Miami-Dade County. The coverage has been long-term and expansive, including by overseas agencies in this county. TIs as a whole has been reporting to their representatives and Congress for decades, as well as the FBI, various military and government ONGs and OSIs, only to be met with a wall of silence or at best inaction. Dr. Duncan and FBI colleagues, when we presented intelligence committee some years ago, and were told that they guys have gone to the media and very few exceptions silence there as well. This is high-level CIA technology administered via U.S. military satellites. CIA human experimentation, such as under the Untitled program, never ended as it was supposed to under the congressional 1975 Church Committee. This is a continuation of the brain experimentation from Nazi Germany, with many Nazis brought here and one for stating over 1,000 their travel facilitated by the CIA. This tech uses one unique brain frequencies, also called brain tremor EEGs, to access remotely an individual person and capture conceive all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Please go to my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Darren Woods. No Darren Woods? Okay. Okay, Chief McQueen.
Craig McQueen, 765 Northwest 36th Street. I want to say we are supporting, of course, of this budget. I want to thank each of you for working on it, and of course, the mayor, thank you for the budget. I wanted you to see these fine gentlemen and the one young lady here that's we got together when we had all the shootings in Dade County, and these young men that got together to introduce them real quickly. Clarence Newberry, Florida City, 40 years of experience. Clarence Moss, paramedic, 57 years of experience. Harold Jacobs, Gwen Cherry, 27 years of experience. Earl Ferguson, Little River, 26 years of experience. Of course, Coconut Grove and Miami with 10. And again, we're not going anyplace. We're here, and we just want to say thank you. Thank you for looking at youth football. Thank you for looking at these organizations and giving them a chance to provide services for these kids. These men and women that constantly, every year after year, have been producing great services for this whole area as a whole, and having had the opportunity to be recognized for what they're doing and what you're doing today will go a long way. Our goal is to have the first 100 every year show up at these parks and be able to play, be safe at these parks, and we can keep them out of harm's way. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And one last thing, you heard Mr. Willard mention earlier about the front line, because we do have kids that come to these parks every day that don't want to be involved in sports, but they're there every day. So we want to give them an opportunity to be involved in something else. So why not learn music? In Atlanta, right now, it's very popular. They have drum lines in all of their youth programs. We started with Miami Youth, and that's what we want to do eventually, to go from all the way down south to cover Carolina. So we ask for support for those drum line associations as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew?
And Mr. Williams, I apologize. Mr. Williams. How many years? 38 years. I apologize.
Thank you all very much. Thank you for your service to the community. Thank you. Andrew?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Andrew Salache, and I live at 6776 Northwest 187th Terrace, Miami, Florida. I'll make this quick. I'm speaking on behalf of Catalyst Miami. We're in support of the mayor's budget, and we just wanted to urge you all to continue supporting housing and environmental initiatives that will benefit all of our residents. So I hope you support the budget tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Former Representative Roy Hardeman, Chairman of the Model City Advisory Board, as it stands today. Address 1292 Northwest 79th Street, 108. I'm here to really appreciate the mayor and thank her for all she's done, working with our Model City Board and trying to make the case of what's going on in Model City. We got so much to say. We want to fund CAA. We need to.
You want to fund the CAA?
Yeah, we need to fund CAA because of that 2007 HUD punishment that they had. We want to make sure that they be able to make.
I think this gentleman got upset because nobody was paying attention to him, but there is one person. I gotta tell you, I can't see his name just yet. But there is a commissioner that has been very attentive. He's straight up ahead, and I'll have to get his name. I really don't know who he is. I wonder if I can zoom in.
You know, we got this ocean man guy coming in, that they're going to jack Ponciano from our community. This community earned that out of 1980 riot. You understand? So we looking for our jobs, we looking for the house.
So right over here, if you look at your bottom left corner, this commissioner sitting down right over here on the bottom left corner of your screen, he has been attentive for the last 1 hour and 20 minutes. He's been listening to everybody. The chairman is right here. I think that's Pepe. And then you have Hardeman. Hardeman used to be with the city of Miami. Now he's with the county. Hardeman has been on and off. He's trying to be attentive. He really is. But he's been on and off with his attention. It's very interesting. Everybody else, forget it. They're in and out. They're not really paying attention to those who speak. And I do notice this very... I'm gonna reserve judgment.
Thank you very much.
It works. No, independent. I'm doing a story for something else. Completely independent. Code enforcement. So this is going to be part of it. Oh yeah? People call me?
Actually,
You're very nosy? I like that too.
Mr. Gomez, right? Mr. Gomez.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The record run up 18851 Northeast 29th Avenue, Suite 1010 Avenue, Florida. In my capacity as chairman of the Homeless Trust. Madam Mayor, Mr. Chairman,
If you want, I'll give you my email.
members of the commission, thank you.
You did?
Madam Mayor, to you and your team, David Gladfelter in particular, thank you. We are at a pivotal turning point in the 27 and a half years of the Homeless Trust existence. Capital investment that you as a commission, you as the administration are putting together. The conversation and the dialogue that has taken place since your first budget hearing amongst the other municipalities in this county. It's going to result in excess of $41 million being spent to purchase existing physical structures in this community that allow us to house almost immediately upon them coming online over 550 individuals that will come off of the streets immediately. Now in 27 and a half years that we've been able to stand before you and say we are going to make immediate change. While we can't get to a closing overnight on these 3 properties, we cannot do the renovations overnight. Within a very short period of time, by the time we come back here next year, our community will be changed, and it will be changed for the better. And the city of Miami is a partner in this. The city of Miami Beach is a partner in this. The city of North Miami is a partner in this. This has happened since your first budget hearing because of the mayor's leadership and this commission's leadership on the issue of trying to end homelessness in our community. I want to thank you on behalf of the 27-person board, but mostly I want to thank you for the last lost and forgotten in this community. With your leadership, we will make a difference. And Vicki is here with me, and we have been doing nothing but being around the clock. Thank you. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gomez.
Next one, speaking with that. All right, this is, I haven't read the budget, but I'm telling you guys that you need to vote no. Because
trying to
I
shut it
hear all
down.
this gibberish about climate
I need
change.
your name and address for the record before you get into that.
Excuse me?
Need your name and address for the record.
Rafael Antonio Gomez, 7403
No, but it's on their website.
Street, Miami, Florida. Okay, so you guys need to vote no on the budget because there's too much gibberish about global warming and climate change, and it all goes to waste. We got money for the homeless trust for what? When there's homeless people everywhere and they don't do nothing. We got money for solid
This is awesome.
all this waste to the solid waste department and they don't pick it up. So I heard you guys are gonna increase your salaries when one of the commissioners was just suspended. Are we gonna give him money? Are we gonna give Martinez, Pepe Diaz money when he got busted for DUI?
Mr. Gomez, we don't work. Okay, just address it. Thank you.
Okay. So I get the security guards, they want more money for what? But when you do the security guards that were kicking people out at the trains and the bus for not wearing a mask, they don't deserve more money. They deserve to pay the money back that they already got because they don't follow the Constitution. Neither do you guys. That being said, you guys just waste money, so there's no point in giving you guys more money. I heard there's gonna be ceremony paid for past commissioners. That doesn't make
Thank you.
Well, there's one perspective.
We're now on to the next set of numbers. I'm going to call 41 through 60. Carl E. Beck.
Well, at least that brought a little bit of life into the room.
Gloria.
Obviously, he's going to be very alone in those opinions. But to bring a little bit of life like that, it was a nice little break.
Desire. Victoria Worship. Catherine Chipley. Claudia Castillo. Keisha Guyton. Ivory Johnson Parker. Peter White. Demetrius Stratford. Charles Curry. Yvonne Stratford. Lois Enrique. Xavier Lopez. Jamie Barberas. And Sarah Marshall. In case I messed up your names, you are numbers 41 through 60. 41 through 60, please, to the best of your abilities, call and come in the order that you call. Thank you. Mr. Ray.
Well, I have to say, that's a tough act to follow.
You can ask me anything right now.
But if I could have the equal amount of attention that young man had, the message would be loud and clear. It was Carl Bay, thank you for the opportunity. 5150 Northwest 2nd Avenue, Florida. And I'm here to discuss and address the economic disparity in this year's budget. I should say the absence of the mentioning of the economic disparity, the absence. I want to start by going by my notes here to talk about number one. Any population that is excluded from dollars that stabilize prosperity will find themselves in a condition of poverty, which leads to crime, early death, and incarceration. So let's address this disparity issue this year in this year's budget. So we scoured the entire budget, and we found mentioned one time in something called emerging priorities of the word inclusion. No equity, just the word inclusion one time mentioned. So we're going to refer to, by way of example, the population of Black Miami-Dade. And I use the language Black Miami-Dade to do a couple of things. Capture people's attention and put the focus on a real issue. The poverty, the shootings, the death, and the madness that's happening in the urban environments of Miami-Dade County needs to be addressed. And the way in which we address that is by addressing the disparities within the budget, within each department within Miami-Dade County. And I'll give, for example, I'll make this very brief. If Black contractors here received less than 0.5% out of a $546 million budget, we make up 17% of the Black population. We should have received $147 million. Instead, we got less than $2 million. That's real disparity. And so again, I urge the board, I urge the mayor to thank her for bringing equity and inclusion to the forefront, putting it in the spotlight. Let's have some real conversation about equity and inclusion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Wright, Ms. Wright, just give me 1 second, please. Go ahead, Ms. Wright.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, the Honorable Commissioner, and Honorable Mayor of College. I am Patricia Wright. I reside at 1221 Northwest 179th Street in Miami, Florida, 33169. I stand before you this evening requesting that you approve Mayor Carver's budget. I appreciate her efforts in allowing the different communities to participate and letting her know what the needs of the community are and how to accomplish those needs. I am the executive director of a nonprofit called In the House, which provides wraparound services and education to kids, seniors, and families. I've been a guardian ad litem for 15 years, which gives me the experience working with children transitioning from the foster care system. On September 2018,
that then District 3 Commissioner refused to listen to the community recommendations coming from the Water City Advisory Board. What will it take for the government and our community to come together to make things work? I thank the mayor for having a servant's heart, and we need these services to help our most vulnerable to survive, our children and our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Daniel Kleinman. I'm the founder and CEO of Seaworthy Collective and Seaworthy Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit based at 31 Northeast 17th Street, Miami, Florida. I'm here to voice my support for the budget and share my appreciation of the work of the mayor and her staff, specifically in the Office of Economic Development and Office of Resilience. At Seaworthy, we're providing the community and programs to drive access and inclusion in the global ocean climate startup ecosystem. As a native South Floridian, I've been part of the brain drain of tech talent that has left our region to other parts of the country as a result of a historic lack of opportunity to work on climate solutions and climate tech, for short. But I came back to Miami-Dade in 2020 to launch our community and start creating the opportunities for doing ocean and climate innovation work here in South Florida, where we need it most. And we've seen the county's support and local ecosystem grow for it since. This budget supports continued development for the Miami tech ecosystem to build for and with our community to solve some of the greatest problems facing our region. Over the last 2 years, Seaworthy has worked to mobilize untapped talent by building, educating, and activating our community. We've already seen our startups go on to raise over $6 million in the last year, and we know we can drive so much more local, social, and economic impact with this budget. The combined budget allocations for climate education and economic development are truly an investment in the future of our county to lead in driving the development of climate solutions and an economy that solidifies the county as truly being invested in addressing climate change. As we love to say, the environment is our economy, and funding for nonprofits like ours enable our county to build the local talent and attract local solutions and continue to show Miami-Dade is taking climate change seriously. As the first Stardust resident for Mayor Levine Cava, we've appreciated the county's support for our work and are truly encouraged to keep doing the work that we're doing, knowing our county has our back with this budget. Please support this budget not only for our environment, but for our economic future. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Gloria Fonseca. I live in 640 Northwest 183rd Street. I am residing.
All right, we are 1.5 hours into the meeting. It looks like the audience is starting to thin out, and we're about halfway, not even halfway through the public comments. So this is going to be a very long night for these commissioners. But you know what? When you think about it, it just might be a good strategy. Because if they ever want to get things passed, they do these things and people come out and they speak and people get tired and they want to go home, and look at the time that they do at 5 o'clock at night. And I get why they do that, so that people can get off of work and come straight here. But if they wanted less resistance and they want to pass some things through the night, well, you do this. It's me. I'm just saying. Look, this is all theoretical. None of this is real. All I'm saying is this would be a great strategy if they ever wanted to pass something publicly with little resistance. Because sometimes they can be here until whatever time they want if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So people are coming out here, they're speaking. But if there's some type of hidden agenda that he needed to get through, man, that is a great strategy, because I've been standing here for an hour and a half and I'm already tired. And like I said, I can already see like the crowd is, they're thinning out. So it's very, very curious.
I'm also here to ask you to please support Girl Power's Florida Girls Initiative as part of the mayor's budget. The Florida Girls Initiative is a statewide initiative advocating for set-aside funding, goods, and services to support at-promise girls who have been adversely affected by trauma and violence and girls who are at risk of human trafficking. This initiative is spearheaded by Girl Power Box in partnership with Mayor Levine Cava and other leaders throughout the county, state, and our nation. The Florida Department of Children and Families describes girls at risk of sex trafficking as girls with a history of running away from homelessness, history of sexual abuse, and/or public displays of misbehavior, family history of exposure to human trafficking, and/or out-of-home placement instability, unintended moves from the last restrictions levels of care. Florida ranks third in our nation for human trafficking. Miami-Dade ranks number 1 in our state for human trafficking. The issue of keeping girls safe is very serious and has become more and more severe over the years, especially for females and children. And they're the ones that need to be protected the most. This is a very real problem in our community, state, and society. So I humbly urge you to please invest in and safeguard at-promise girls now for generations to come by strongly supporting the budget the mayor has put forward and the Florida Girls Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Clark Beasley. I am the Development Director for Girl Power, and I'd like to thank you all for having us here to speak. I'd like to thank the mayor for including Girl Power in this initiative.
Clark, please give me your address for the record.
My address is 6770 Indian Creek Drive, Miami Beach. I'd like to tell you a story about what happened to us last Friday. We were invited to speak or to review the state's attorney's human trafficking office. I don't know if anybody knows or have visited the human trafficking office, if you've been there. It's an illuminating experience. Part of the Florida Girls Initiative would be fighting that, starting in Miami. But watching this PowerPoint that the state's attorney's team showed us, as an almost 60-year-old man, had me in tears. It is a moving experience to such a degree I can't even describe. But the Florida Girls Initiative is just a small step in the right direction to save these girls. Part of, I was thinking about this, part of my emotion was not for the girls who are already involved with Girl Power and soon to be Florida Girls Initiative, but for the thousands of girls that won't be, that we don't have the funding to help. Because this is a huge problem that's not getting enough attention. Formula One, the Super Bowl, the things that these two events have in common is increase in human trafficking. We learned this last week. It's devastating each time a large event like this occurs. So this funding is imperative. We want to thank everyone who's supporting the mayor's budget, and we're grateful. So thank you very much for all you've done.
Thank you. Yvette?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Naya Jasmine.
Hold on 1 second. Check. Yvette Floyd, are you? Just Yvette Floyd? Okay. Okay. Keep going.
My name is Naya Jasmine. I am the Marketing, Communication, and Outreach Manager for the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce of Florida. The address is 10750 Northwest 6th Court, Miami. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all the commissioners for all the initiatives that they have conducted successfully so far. And we are particularly grateful for the relationship of trust that we have developed with Commissioner Modestine and Mayor Cava, which has resulted in one of the projects that we are very proud of. This is the Business Incubator Scale Up 305, which is assisting small businesses in our community to help them grow in a significant way. Thanks to your funding from April to September 2022, about 85 business owners, amongst them 67% of women, benefited from free top-notch training in key areas of their businesses, one-on-one coaching with experts, to challenge their specific, to address their specific challenges, access to other resources to help them scale. About 96 hours of training were delivered both in person and virtually to business operating in various industries. The satisfaction survey conducted indicated that there is a need for such program, and all of the participants indicated how they were satisfied by this program as it benefited their personal and business growth. They provided positive testimony indicating how the program helped them grow their knowledge knowledge, skill, build more efficiency, identify and serve better the clients. 100% of the beneficiaries have referred the program to others, and the number of applications that we are receiving exceed the available spots. This is an indicator that the city and staff must continue to accompany the small businesses to help create more jobs and more wealth that will impact the community in a multidimensional way. What we have started can only become better and bigger, and that's why we count on a durable partnership with Miami-Dade County to keep up the good work. For all the reasonable, we would like to ask the commissioners to support and pass the mayor's budget. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. All right, up in the batter's box, number 49 through 54. Catherine Chippy. Claudia Castillo. Keisha Dugan. Ivory Johnson.
Ooh, we have somebody in. We're watching. No, we got a while. This is gonna be like another hour before I go up there. So yeah. Is that you, Gabby? Are you in here? I know it's a 20-second delay. Give me a thumbs up if you're in here. I don't even think my wife is watching. Government work is not entertaining.
Hi, I'm Keisha Guyton. My address is 17431 Northwest 42nd Avenue. And I'm supporting of the budget, but I also would like the budget to also reflect to those that are on Section 80. There's a lot because of the high cost that's going on now. It has been very hard for a lot of the voucher holders to be able to find places. So the extensions that we all asked for, we're not able to get them. And I think that maybe needs to be maybe suspended for now, because it is very hard finding housing because the rent is very high. Also, like, in Miami, a two-bedroom can cost you anywhere between $2,000 to almost $3,000. So you know that the voucher is not going to support that. So I just ask that this initiative be able to find a way to address that, because like I said, a lot of us are losing the house. I was one of them who lost mine. I'm fighting for it back, but I know I'm experiencing it somewhere else.
Thank you. Good luck on anything else. Next up,
My name is Ivory Johnson Parker, and my address is 1855 Northwest 74th Street. I'm for the mayor's budget because I'm a Section 810 and I've been in my place for 3 years. And my rent went from $1,390 to $1,700. I'm disabled, and I'm to the point where
I'm a resident of Miami, Florida. I'm living in Overtown right now. I'm here about the mayor budget because right now, like I said, it's ridiculous about the house situation. The rent is going up high, the city's not paying for this. Like when I moved in Overtown 2017, every weekend you hear gunshots. People kill people for no reason. Because of the pandemic, everything go down, and the police are alarmed and goes down to them. The police is scared of the residents. And now we found out that the pandemic, there's nobody, everybody's forced to stay in their house. But I lived in Miami since 1910 and 19 now, so I know Miami could be better. That's why I accept and I ask please pass the budget. Because of the budget, Miami could be what it was before and be.
So it looks like there's a lot of support for the budget. A lot. Most everything I've heard from the community for these public speakers from the community are in huge support. Everybody seems to be in big support of the budget. Now, I'm not going to be a fan favorite. Not that I'm opposed to the budget. But how can I support a budget that's trying to shut down the arts? And when there's code enforcement officials at the highest level lying, breaking the law, how can I support a budget when there's corruption in Miami-Dade County? Well, at least that's going to be my little protest here.
I'm here, and I'm going to be very brief. Just to give support to our organization of the mayor's budget. Pandemic hit us terribly. And a lot of people right now just off the street. And all we need to know is that people can come back together and live again in decency. And with the budget, I think we can do it. I need some peace, love, and happiness, and good health.
Peace, love, good happiness, and good. Thank you. Catherine Chippy, 49, Claudia Castillo, 50, and Demetria Stafford, I recall them, 49, 50, 54. Okay, and then moving on. Number 55, Charles Curry.
Okay, we're up at 55. Just 30 more to go.
59, Danny Everest, E-B-E-R-A-S. Miami workers. And yeah, come on down. It's like the price is right. Come on down. Nobody? Okay, we're going to pass on you. We'll call them out again later. Sarah Marshall, number 60. 61. Nadira Sabir. 62. Faith Fisher. 63. Tanu Quinton. Elizabeth Suarez.
All right, now it looks like we're moving fast. So, Gabby, if this is you in the live, hang tight. Just 20 more. I think over 100.
Antoinette Thomas Shorter, 66, 67, Elsa Rodriguez, Aldo Uragi, sorry about that. That's the IU, 68 and 69. Sill. Sill. Number 69. Okay, 1 to 69, you're up. And we got one taker, two takers.
All right, I'll go first. My name is Grace Bishop. I live at 1210 Northeast 110th Street. have low-income housing, which was at $550. Now the landlord wants to take $775 when I only collect $841. I've been a good tenant. I've done numerous jobs to help him out. And I would appreciate if the budget could have low-income housing for senior citizens with emotional pet animals, because I suffer from depression, post-traumatic stress, and pulmonary disease. So thank you, and I hope you see things my way, and God bless you.
Thank you. Next up.
Hello. My name is Antoinette Armstrong. Thank you. I'm not here to speak, but okay. I live in public housing.
Please give your address.
Oh, yes. 6412 Northwest 2nd Court. I live in public housing. Less than 3 years. There are so many things going on that I could be here all night. Once it is not safe, that is number one. When the shots are regular. The other thing is people that do not live there.
How much do any of you out there want to bet that my wife is in the live and she's not paying attention because she's watching Orange is the New Black?
That is in the budget, that would be wonderful, because it needs upgrading, it needs fixing also. There's more, there's mildew, I have COPD, so there is a lot going on. Also, I had received Section 8, and I was excited. I tried my very best until I got sick, so hard I tried to find somewhere suitable according to the money that I was given. The rent at that time was doubled and tripled, and the amount that you receive can't even go near what the rent was. So for a lot of us, it just expired. There was nothing we could do. That needs to be fixed. The budget needs to be adjusted. The money needs to be increased. We need better living conditions. And I thank you for listening.
Thank you. And we heard you about the security. You're in the housing projects. It's a government obligation. Thank you. Okay, covered everybody 1 through 69. Up now, 70, Ingrid Caputo. Mercedes Carrera, 71. Daisy Cabrera, 72. Santander Hercules, 73. Zadie, I think it is Zadie, M. Perez Marina, 74. And for information purposes, number 75. Shoshana Lear on medallions. Okay, 75. So, those next 5, come on up, state your name, address, anybody, 70 to 75. Come on up to the podium.
I'm Shoshana Lear, number 75. 3670 North Park Road, Hollywood, and I'm representing the committee of the taxi medallion permit holders in Miami. The owners requested to pay the dues of $350 per annum when more than 50% of the taxis are not working. So even those that are working and operating are making the maximum of $50 per month, which equals to $600 per year. out of $600, if we have to pay $350, it's more than 65% of our yearly income, which is ridiculous. Last October, we were here and presented our plight, and we got temporary relief, and we hope that this will be changed, and the temporary will be followed up, and the dues will be adjusted according to the income. But this didn't happen. On the contrary, we got a notice to pay by the end of October. Otherwise, we have to pay high penalties. If we are unable to pay the dues, how can we pay the penalties on top? We are asking this great body and distinguished commissioners, please take up our plea and help us to keep this industry going, because this industry is going to die. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners, and you're being called. Thank you, Commissioners, and Mayor Bumukaba, for having us speak here. I am Mercedes Cabrera. My mother is Daisy Pinto Cabrera, and we live at 3860 West 8th Way, Hialeah, Florida, 33012. We're here in support of the mayor's budget because we're exceptionally voucher holders, and as other members have said, and of countless exceptionally voucher holders mentioned, it has been difficult to find housing. Housing is not adequate. Many of these structures, private and those by the government, are filled with mold, with water intrusion, electrical problems, and that is unacceptable. And when we speak up and request that repairs be done, we are pretty much put in eviction court as retaliation. For those reasons, we're in support of the budget, and we look forward to those being held accountable and being able to find properties that are safe and livable for all Section 8 housing participants. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now you recognize.
Good evening. My name is Sally Madena Perez, and I'm residing on 2201 Lala Road, Miami, Florida 33155. And the business navigator for all of us CDC, a non-profit organization that aids small business and residents in the Alabama area. The way the county budget is allocated on an annual basis determines the priorities and the values of the various issues we face. I wish to express my gratitude to all of you for putting forward a solid budget that addresses the needs and concerns of the Miami-Dade community, starting with the greatest challenge we have in the county, the increased cost of housing to homeowners and tenants alike. Our community is on the verge of being displaced by hedge funds and commercial investors aggressively buying real estate in the county. The affordable housing would definitely provide much needed relief for low-income earners and the struggling middle class. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, you recognize.
Good evening. My name is Santander Arguelles, 5271 Southwest 8th Street, Orlando 33134. I'm the Director of Economic Development at Alabama CDC, and I'm here to communicate our support to the budget that reflects our community's needs and priorities, and to lead to those that need the most. Thank you very much to Kava for your support of the flea market, Tropicana Flea Market, business owners affected by this fire July 7, and working together with you from the department, from the county, the Small Business Innovation Department, Economic Development Team, the Fire Department, SBA. We have been able to bring all resources available to small businesses affected, and the ERAP program has been instrumental to support these families, food distribution, relief efforts, and SBA emergency declaration as well. All these small business economic development opportunities, along with affordable housing, and living proof that a well-balanced budget like in Miami-Dade County, is there our support so small businesses can thrive in the post-pandemic economy. A big thank you to you all, and we ask your support to this project that reflect the community's needs and priorities and relief to those that need it the most. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I understand. That's all the all right. Alano, Schroeder, Festus, Ramos, Stephen Gordon, Barbara Martinez Rivera, Rebecca Garcia, Daniel Padma, Astra Nelson, Yadami Nunes, Dorothy J. Morrison, Matthew Monica, Jeffrey Allen, Zachary Spencer, Miguel Quintero, Denise Valdez, Carolina Enriquez, Amigos Mejia. Please make your way down. Sergeant Arms, keep them with the numbers, please, to help out. Okay. What's the next number on the other podium? Sir.
Good evening. We're doing a 2-for-1 here, 278 and 80 here. My name is Daniel Balmori. I'm at 55 Southeast 6th Street, and I'm a volunteer lawyer with Friends of the Underline.
I'm sorry, you said it before I get you going.
Yep.
Go with the two numbers.
87.
87?
Danielle Coleman and
Balmori.
And you are?
Steve Worthing. He's also here.
That's fine.
Okay, got it.
That doesn't matter.
They want to give it over. Who you are? I'm a volunteer lawyer with Friends of the Underline, and I'm joined by my colleague Steve Wernick of Wernick & Co., who's a volunteer board member for Friends of the Underline. We wanted to take time to come out, especially thank a number of people in the county for being champions of safe pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure that helps the mobility and connectivity in this county. You're one of them, Chair Diaz, of course, District Commissioners Higgins, great champions of the Underline. Senator Garcia, Senator Hayden, Commissioner Hayden, Commissioner Hardeman, and so many others. We're proud that because of those champions and the leadership of Mayor Daniela Levine-Cava, Phase 3 of the Underline is going to begin very soon, and we're going to be connecting more than 100,000 residents and hundreds of thousands of transit riders to a beautiful multimodal trail.
Just to follow up there, ultimately the Underline connects the Southgate Trail for over 30 miles of protected trails for all Miamians to walk, play, and come together as one community. When you talk about Baldwin Trail, Commodore Trail, there's so many champions up here. Mayor, we're so happy that you've been such a supporter, and particularly in this budget. And I think this is an infrastructure legacy that we should all be proud of. Thank you so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Madam President.
Hi, my name is Dorothy J. Morrison. My address is 3535 Northwest 213th Street, Miami Gardens, 33056. I'm here today on behalf of the historic Hampton House. We want to say thank you all so much for everything that you have done for us, and we support the mayor's budget. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's the way to do it. Sir. Yeah. No, that's the way to do it. Thank you. Miami Gardens, y'all. Miami Gardens stepped it up. All right.
All right, I'll step it up as well. Hello, Mr. Chairman, Mayor. My name is Matthew Monica. I'm the Vice President of Government Affairs for the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce. Address is 1 Southeast 3rd Avenue, Miami, Florida. The Chamber would like to commend and thank the Mayor and Commission for strengthening the partnership between the county and Miami business community by providing funding for the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce Senior Executive Orientation SEO program. The SEO program offers an in-depth onboarding curriculum for executives and companies who have relocated to Miami. Additionally, the Chamber thanks the Mayor and Commission for taking steps forward to address workforce housing, a perpetual Chamber priority through the Mayor's Homes Plan. We look forward to working with the County Commission and to disseminate the information on the plan to our more than 400,000 member company employees. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Zach. I'm here with Yanni and Kato from East Miami, address 863 Northeast 79th Street. First of all, happy National Voter Registration Day. We spent the morning on 9 college campuses registering voters and talking to young people about the issues they care about most. We're happy to be back here now for the second budget hearing, demonstrating that we have a voice and can participate in the decisions that affect us and our communities. We've gone through the budget with our members over the last month and are happy to see increased investments in emergency rental assistance and Office of Housing advocacy, as well as steps toward the necessary conversion of the county septic system to sewer infrastructure and support for weatherization. The climate crisis touches on every aspect of our lives, and while these steps are overdue, they are necessary steps nonetheless. As we've seen in the second change memo, the mayor has effectively responded to concerns regarding the homes plan. We now see more specificity and attention given to processing of the plan. We would like to stress, as many did last time, that the budget allocations constituents are passionate about cannot be seen, though, if the millage rate, including UMSA, is further reduced. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Sir, you're recognized.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, my name is Miguel Quintero. I am the owner and operator of Miami Flying Trapeze. Now, I was born...
Address?
Oh, thank you. That is located at 9651 Northwest 13th Avenue, District 2. Now, I am here, though, unfortunately, for my commissioner, to report very sad news. I have evidence in code enforcement that top officials are lying, breaking the law, and trying to shut down my home-based business. In all fairness to the commissioner in my district, I have tried for 2 years to meet with him and bring my evidence, and I did not get an audience. I have recently asked the mayor for an audience so I can bring my evidence.
Is this part of the budget?
Yes, because I cannot support this budget. I am an artist.
Talk directly to the budget for me, okay?
Very good.
Stop, okay. I wanted to make sure before I stop. Speak to the budget.
I understand. I understand that the budget has a lot for the arts. I am one of your finest artists here in Miami-Dade County, born and raised here. I do acrobats through the air. When you go to a Cirque du Soleil show or Ringling show, I train kids and young adults how to do that. I have done that myself. There's a good chance that most of you have seen me here before. In 2017, I saved an entire building from burning down. I did not want any credit for that. The news did a thing about it. But my thing is, I've tried to reach out to my commissioner, telling them I don't ask for favors, but because I've done this, my good deed in life, and saving all those lives and saving that building, give me an audience. I did not get an audience. Now here I have to do it in public. My business, my home-based business that the state of Florida allows, and the things that I do on my private property are being denied me. The Declaration of Independence says, I know, stick to the budget.
Stick to the budget. I'm going to ask you, please.
I will stick to the budget, but I'm pretty much done. Hopefully the mayor knows me, sees who I am. My name is Miguel Quintero. I have requested an audience. Thank you. Good night.
Sir, your name and address for the record.
Camilo Mejia, 3482 Pro Avenue, Miami, Florida, 33133. My name is Camilo Mejia. I'm the network director of Campus Miami.
Okay, so there it is. I'm going to leave now. I've been here for just over 2 hours, and nobody else is going to want to see what goes on here. But I was directed to stick to the budget, of course. But at least they know who I am now. You guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.